Roshi already has a visiting to pass. He's got just oodles of setups in play. 2 slumbers, a dragon radar. But unfortunately, while Android 20 possesses Nappa, all of that is moot. So Cloud's Liberation is running the Android 20, and Mr. Waffles is running Master Roshi. Let's see how these things pan out. So Android 20 continues to set up, maybe not as robust as Master Roshi, but at least his setup can be used at the moment, his drill. He actually has a VTP as well. He's going to pass and rejuvenate. Back to Roshi. Deck counts 56-52 in favor of Android 20. Waffles wants to enter and probably get rid of Nappa's bitch ass. There it goes. I mean, it's not hard to see that path flow. So he's done what needs to be done so that his deck can prosper. Stare down comes. We got a crushing beam, blue dominance, and a shifting maneuver. Plans to use the blue dominance as a means for prevention. Let's see how he plays this out. Cloud's Liberation is deliberate. He chooses the defense to be discarded. Waffles passes. Oh, now we got a mastery use. It's going to actually pitch the black defensive burst to banish the bottom 2 for Waffles. And discard a card from his hand. He chooses the crushing beam, wants that dominance, and passes. Cloud probably has an idea of where he wants to go. Let's see if he can thwart it. He chooses to go in with the choke. It's not mandatory, but I'm pretty sure Waffles cannot defend against it, considering it's unpreventable. So it'll be 6 life in the stage. I mean, he could lay it down, it just wouldn't have any effect. I mean, in some ways, Waffles should have laid that down, because it's his intention to level, right? Maybe he thinks that Cloud has another attack in his hand that he intends to use. I don't think so. I think he's gonna go into the next and try to abuse him. But he should have laid the card down to attempt to prevent, and then, you know, if 20 decided to go in on him, he could be at level 2. Cloud chooses not to search. He does. Can you do that? You may search. Yeah, so he can do that. He's not searching. So he chooses to lose the stages just to make sure. Cloud does pass. So it leaves Waffles with the blue dominance in his hand, which he did not want. Now let's see what he can do. I mean, Cloud has some options here. I think you almost have to enter just to keep applying pressure to Roshi, but with the Slumber, it's a little bit different. He's got the Dragon Radar. There's a lot of ways for him to rebound. So Cloud does the smart thing and probably passes. Got blue training and his blue dominance out. I do believe Roshi will pass this. Yeah, back to Cloud. Declaration put into play by Android 20. He's going as we want to pass back to Roshi. Let's see if this gets any more exciting. Okay, Roshi draws his 3. Puts another VTP in play. He is super chokeable right now, which is dangerous. I mean, we've already seen Android 20 use choke prior. He's also indicating that his radiating drill takes effect since you rejuvenated. So let's take a look at that. Yep. Whenever your opponent rejuvenates, banish the bottom card of his discard pile. Oh, we got an Android 20 in play, Android 16 in play. -2 live cards and a smoothness drill. It's a battle of who can set up the best. And currently, I'd have to say Roshi's set up, but he's also set up for failure against several. Well, I mean, there's at least 2 chokes probably left in Android 20's deck. So Waffles decides to enter to mitigate some of this silliness. He's not Android 20 is not set up bad as well. So let's see where he goes with this. Uses dominance to get the level 2. Waffle says that's it, bro. Now Android 20 can draw his 3, or he could also VTP if he chooses. With 3 cards in the discard pile, I'm not sure if that's something he plans to do. Deck count 39 for Roshi and 48 for Android 20. He chooses the VTP. He gets the card advantage. Stare down, not a bad place to go. So he draws his 3, giving him a card count of 6 total. Uh-oh, we're going to clash it up. If he doesn't have a Villainous Energy Sphere, he will lose his drills. So Android 20 moves on to his level 2. Probably not what he expected. He loses. Oh, and now Master Roshi, level 3 comes out and he gets to see his hand. It's going to be a huge turn of the cards for Mr. Waffles and his Master Roshi. Okay, so he clashes. Cloud's Liberation shows his hand to Mr. Waffles. I can't see it. He chooses to use Stare Down. There is another Dominance, Time, and an Energy Defense, which is probably Blue's best energy defense, allowing to put 2 energy combat cards back on the top of his life deck. I mean, if you're going to choose to do some damage and try to put this match away, it's got to be the time. Unless you have saved your Villainous Energy Sphere or have a means for him to not play style cards. And time's the selection. So right now, cards in hand, it'll be Android 20 with 5 and Roshi with 2, none attack worthy. So he's got to start thinking, I got my blue key buildup. Is it worth using right now, considering it'll be less than, it'll be 5 life cards, right? He can see his hand, so he knows what he can and cannot get away with. He's also got the Dragon Radar, which can lend some scrubbing if he chooses to go in on Android 20. Maybe grab another, it'll give him another blue betrayal. He can get rid of 16. But he's also got to be worried about the black declaration that Android 20 possesses. Waffles passes. And now he's got to take the top 2 cards off the top of his life deck and the bottom 2 cards of his discard pile and discard either the dominance or the energy stop. What he must have been paralyzed by what he saw in Cloud's hand that we can't see. So he chooses to keep the narrow escape. Cloud, that card size is 4-1. He's going to play black, foreshadowing, where he's going to destroy the top X cards of the life deck and banish zone. It looked like 4. Yeah. So right now, it's like he's weathering the storm, and both of them passed. So now, at the end of combat, if you control a non-style drill, you may rejuvenate it. If you do not control a style drill, he can banish a drill. Nothing worth banishing. Goes back to Cloud and his Android 20. Deck count: Android 20 with 42, Roshi with 32. It's a significant lead, but it can sway. I mean, I'm not sure about Roshi's ability to do significant damage. The ability to see his opponent's hand will dictate this match, however. He's blue trainings. Whenever one of your setups, drills, leaves, or allies leaves play this combat, you may destroy the top card of your opponent's life deck. That's a lot of setups in play to be able to use that quite frequently. Cloud has to be thinking he wants to get rid of all the setups, but right now the training may pose the most danger, or the blue key builder, depending on his defenses. Cloud decides to enter. He's gonna tap Android 20, search a life deck or discard pile for a non-style drill and play it. He's no longer worried about the blue key buildup since he can prevent the damage with 2 life cards. What does he lead with? Waffles now has to think. Does he want to VTP? I mean, I think you use Roshi at a minimum and see what you have with Roshi. And if you got, I mean, you can see the guy's hand. You know what he can and cannot do this combat. So you look at Roshi Slumber, and move on. And hopefully not have to use one of your VTPs. But I mean, why not use VTP, I guess? Give you the card advantage. Maybe you could take the offensive and then think about using your Dragon Radar if it's not declared upon. Find something that maybe gets rid of that drill. Okay. Yep, there goes Roshi. So he's going to look at the top 10 and probably create the best possible draw 3 against Cloud's 4-card hand. And like I said, we can't see it, so we don't even know. I mean, 10 cards is a lot to choose from, but if the cards aren't there, it's still not going to help. So he's going to reorder, banish 3 cards from Android 20's discard pile, more than likely. I doubt he'd go to his own. But you never know. And I think you VTP. I think you VTP and grab what's in that 10 card discard pile. You gotta look at, as opponent plays with hands face up, you may destroy the top card of your opponent's life deck whenever he rejuvenates. And at the end of combat, he searches his card pile for a setup or drill and place in play. So he wants his setups, discard, setups and drills in his discard pile. Cloud decides to show his hand to everybody, so now I can actually see what's going on in his hand. So he's got the swipe, the domination, the black swirl, and the black dismissal. He has to basically, he's already reshuffled his cards to try to mitigate some of this troubles. So he's targeting smoothness, stare down, and black corruption out of his discard pile. Get rid of those. Is foreshadowing still in his discard pile? Don't know. We'll see. I guess they'll resolve that here shortly. But with the swirl, he now knows with the VTP what he should swirl. At least it'll be, he knows that. Very, very chess match of a game here with 20 versus Roshi. So, okay, he actually removes the black foreshadowing. He's going to swirl, and does he take the low-hanging fruit, or does he go for the stab? Does he go for the stab in the dark? Blue narrow escape. Stab in the dark, son. And this does 5 life in one stage. He's going to block that with his mastery. Blue crouch. Now we've got the physical attack for AT plus 5. Should just do 5 stages. Chooses the blue key build up. So he knows he's probably going to get swiped at least once, but now he's got ammo to go in. Unfortunately, we got Android 20 scouting drill and Android 16 to keep that at bay. So really no worries for Android 20 at the moment. He takes the stages with Android 20. I don't know. I think I'd have kept those stages and I lost them with 16. So now he targets one of the trainings, which is pretty devastating. I don't know. I might have gotten rid of the Roshi, played long con. Dragon Ball, still a possibility to do some more scrubbing for Waffles. He's got 3 cards in his hand. I would look for that blue betrayal. Oh, he passes. So I guess he's okay with ditching what he has, figuring that Cloud will, keep the pressure on. He uses the Devious Mastery, which is so underhanded that you tend to forget that, damn, I'm probably going to have to lose one of the cards in my hand. So he has to bash the bottom 2 and discard a card from his hand, something that I'm sure he was going to use as a combo for a setup. Let's see what he discards. Blue narrow escape. It's useless. Good call. Waffles passes, so Roshi being able to see his hand, it helps, but God, the Android 20 is set up really, really well, even after being moved to level 2. I think if you're Cloud, you pass, and balls to the wall here. Opponent loses a stage. He names a card, searches his opponent's life deck for that card, and banishes it. At the end of combat, he can choose a non-event card from the discard pile and place it on the top of his life deck. Woo! I think you don't want that. It's at the end of combat, so it's moot now. So he's going to be able to set himself up quite nicely. So now he's thinking about which card to select. With Master Roshi, I think you choose Master Roshi's backstrike. He's going to go with blue training. He recognizes the value of the card and wants to get rid of that. Understand? So there is a blue training in there. Very, very good card, especially if you got tons and tons of setups. Right now, Master Roshi is barely chokeable, but he knows that there's no chokes in his hand, so that's a good thing. Or he'd probably use some of his setups to become not chokeable. So the blue training is gone. Damage now. We got 3 life. So 4 life in a stage. Let's see. What could be the hold up? Will Waffles decide to block this? I don't think he has the means. Can't recall. There it goes. So we got 4 life in the stage. Takes it. And banishes that for the long con to get rid of all the endurance. So right now we got a deck count of 27 for Roshi and 42. There's the backstrike. Ugh. So brutal of a card. It's gonna need a game changer. I think if you have a confrontation in your hand, you play it. And then you just try to, take as much. Or the betrayal. You take the betrayal and get rid of Android 20 scouting, right? So he can't rejuvenate 3. That makes sense. You didn't have to show him because he can any card. But he's like, I'm finna get rid of your drill, bro. Just know that. So action goes back to Cloud, who really can't do anything right now besides pass. Damages a stage, I think. And gets rid of it on 16. Cloud passes, and this is obviously betrayal coming on up. Well, he's got to think about it, right? So is it 20? He's going to actually tap, see on taps. I think you go ahead and use your blue training. But, I mean, first things first, I guess you get rid of this. We can't stop it. Gotta make up the deficit somehow, some way, and make this match a little bit closer. And there's really no choice but to get rid of the drill. You don't want 20 rejuvenating 3. It's a no-brainer. Betrayal, training. I think so. Waiting for the CRD update. It's 9 o'clock. So now we betray and get rid of the drill. Damage is nothing, nil. Cloud passes. I think you pop your training. Let's see what is pop the trail, pop the training. Dragon radar. So these are the millage that's going on right now. Oh my. Ouch. Well, so Mr. Waffles realized he just made the deck and doesn't have a ball in there. So fatal error. Or not. Alright, that's the match. Good move by Black Android 20.